Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Falai, and welcome to this Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Last episode, we went to this location out here where a bunch of people have gathered together and formed the Free Crusaders. And we turned it into a court, which I'm calling the Court of the Fox's Wit. Because why not? I'm a fox, I have to make it fox-themed. Anyway, with that taken care of, let's make our way westwards to deal with this dragon. That thing is gonna last for a while. But we'll stop at the Temple of the Good Hunt on the way. See what's going on here. Alright, let's see what we got. Yep. Big area. A lot of things to look around, but I'm not really seeing, like, any loot or anything around here.
Follow if you dare.
No, there's no loot over there. That seems to be the way into the temple itself. Oh, there's a bit of loot. Just a bit of food. That seems to be it. Into the temple, then. Let's see here.
I'm off.
Kiado. The young cleric of Erastil greets you with a shy smile. What an honor it is to see you again, Commander. Welcome to the Temple of Delamere the Blessed. As the temple's prior, I offer my greetings. At the word prior, the priest's face flushes pink. Remind me, who are you again? Who are you? They call me Kiado, the shepherd boy. Well, that's what they used to call me, but it's not very fitting for a priest, is it? The cleric lapses into confused silence for a few moments. I come from a village near Lastwall. I've always been drawn to Erastil, even as a child. A cleric by the name of Jod once passed through our village, a kind old man. He looked me in the eye, a silly little kid, and he said, I see you're going to serve Erastil just like myself. And so I did. When I heard about your crusade, I set out to join it, just like my heart was telling me to do. At first, I served as a novice under the venerable Rathamus, but now he's gone, and I've been left on my own. Rathamus and I marched on Dresden with your forces. We fought in your host. And then when the demons were driven out, I came here. This temple is centuries old. Erastil's worshippers would have come here in their hundreds in the past. But even now we get the odd pilgrim wandering in. That's why I wanted to take over this temple. Someone ought to take care of this sacred place. I want to know more about this temple and everything connected to it. Oh, where to begin? This temple is dedicated to Delamere. Oh, I mean, of course it is a temple of Erastil. But Delamere was the prior of this temple. I mean, no, I am the prior of this temple, and she is like its blessed Mother Superior, its patroness. The young man falls into a confused silence and looks pleadingly at you. What is it like to be a prior? Oh, it's terrifying. I live here alone, you see. People travel a great distance to come here, but I've been given an important task. Here in the Worldwound, where temples are needed more than ever so that people don't lose their faith. But that doesn't stop my legs shaking in terror. When I think of my teacher Rathamus, rest his soul, I just feel like running away. I swear, I would have run long ago, but one thing keeps me here. Erastil would not have granted me these spells for no reason. I cannot let him down. Or the people. I can't let them down either. You say you're a coward, but you're in no hurry to leave this place, even though nobody's keeping you here. I know from experience how scary it is to be alone, surrounded by strangers. You're not as weak as you think you are. You're stronger than most. This place frightens you, but you're still here. You should be proud of that. Erastil is with me. If my faith is strong, his antlers will protect me from evil demons. He won't let them devour me. Tell me about Delamere. She lived in these parts back when Sarkoris was still standing. She was a priestess of Erastil, and the Kellids deeply respected her for her hard nature and her unshakable faith. Erastil blessed her with various wonders, and the common folk knew that she would stand up for them. Delamere did not like city life. She said cities encouraged vile deeds and corruption of the soul. She said that people ought to live in small clans where everyone knows everyone, where everyone is kin, and where every person has a duty to the rest. You can't hide your sins in a village. In a village, everyone knows what kind of a person you are. She had a revelation, and she would travel around the villages and see how many people lived there. If any settlement had more than 53 souls, she drove out all the rest and told them to settle elsewhere, because otherwise the villages would have grown and turned into little towns. Her methods were harsh, of course, but people still listened to her, because Erastil himself was on her side. She had an edge to her. She single-handedly chased off whole bands of marauders that harassed villages. And after she died, this temple was built in her honor, in the place where Erastil gifted her with his relics. They say it was here that a white stag emerged from the forest and spoke to her in a human voice, telling her that she should hunt it because it was the will of the Lord. Delamere tracked the stag for 3 days and 3 nights through the forests, and when she ran it to ground, she made its antlers into a bow and its hide into armor. And that bow never misses, and Erastil himself blessed that armor so that it repels the strikes of enemies. I do not share her views, but I respect her faith. Even I think that she was a hard woman. Can it truly be wrong for more than 53 people to live in one place? And if there are 54, does the moral decay and treachery begin immediately? But that is foolishness and ignorance talking. The wisdom of Erastil was revealed to Delamere. She must have understood the unique mysteries underpinning the world. Yeah, I don't think that's quite right. I mean, say there's 53 people, and then 2 of them have a child. Suddenly there's 54. Does that mean the oldest person has to leave the village entirely? Does that mean when the child reaches 18, he must go out into the world, or someone will have hopefully died by then? I don't know about that. I want to know more about Erastil's teachings. Erastil is an old god, back from the times when there were no such things as towns. Simple he is, and good, and he wants people to be the same. He wants them to live in small settlements where everyone knows each other. He wants to value the simple joys of life and not vacuous pondering. He wants people to earn their bread honestly through hunting, crafts, farming, and fishing. He especially prizes hunting, of course, when it is for sustenance rather than sport. He is both stag and hunter. He favors both guises. Erastil does not like finery, and he demands no special ceremonies. He used to simply appear before hunters and rangers and offer his wisdom, but when he is angered, he is terrifying. If someone harms the country folk, he takes pleasure in hunting animals or spoils the crops, that person may well take an arrow from Erastil. And his bow shows no mercy. It is the father of all bows, for it was Erastil who taught people how to shoot. Alright. Have you seen anything suspicious in the area? The cleric swallows nervously and lowers his gaze. No, everything's quiet around here. There's nothing going on in this temple, that's for sure. Pilgrims have said there's a dragon flying around this area, snatching up travelers, and others say it's just a rumor. Things are quiet here in my temple. Have you heard about my new powers? Your power is hard to miss. It is like grass growing through stones, stubborn, full of life, and unpredictable. Sometimes it seems like I can sense your approach from afar, like a gust of warm wind, or the freshness in the air that comes before a storm. There is goodness in your power, but there is something else that frightens me. It is too unpredictable, and it seems to me that you cannot fully control it. Grass between stones. To grow, the grass must destroy solid ground, but something may have been standing on that solid foundation, something that may have relied on its firmness. I'm sorry, I can't express myself more clearly. You should be speaking to someone who is truly wise about this. I need the services of a cleric. I will be glad to help, Commander. I have kept all of Rathmus's scrolls and have even managed to learn a few of his tricks. I study languages so that I can read foreign scrolls. Rathmus used to call me a polyglot. I never met a foreign language I didn't want to sink my teeth into. The young man seems to preen slightly. Okay, scrolls. Diamonds, potions. Okay, it's the cleric stuff. Nothing special. Alright.
There's something here.
Huh. What is that, I wonder? I don't know why you are there now. We'll investigate that in a minute. Oh,
What is that?
trap.
What do we have
And hidden
here?
thing.
I am helpful. Am I not?
What do we got? Some
I
loot.
do what I must.
Some loot. Can pick the lock there.
I hope you appreciate this.
Incredible dexterity. And elven notes. And here... Magic essence. Okay, nice. And what do we have in this one? Another trap. Camellia,
Open your
please
heart
go
to
in
me.
there. Disarm the trap.
I am helpful.
Thank you.
Am I not? I am helpful.
Ooh.
Am I not?
Ultimate Predator. Let's see here. +2 insight bonus on attack and damage rolls made with natural weapons against animals, magical beasts, and monstrous humanoids. Not the best, but I mean, at least you'll have something. Let's see. Some food items.
Interesting.
Oh, something in there.
I hope you appreciate this.
Specimen 367, Finian Dismar, Test Report 1. Master, the first stage of the testing process was a success. Specimen 367, Finian Dismar, turned into a sword on command. The sword possesses sufficient sharpness and the ability to adjust the wielder's strike. It beheaded a crusader with a single blow. A clean cut, the blade is undamaged. Additional notes, the specimen makes unwanted noise resembling weeping. No reaction to threats. Interesting. I feel like we should talk with him, see if he has anything to say. I found the cultist reports on their tests. They say you were used to kill crusaders. What? You must have the wrong guy. I've never been friends with cultists. I would have remembered something like that. Maybe they caught some other Pathfinder and bent him to their will. Not me. I would have remembered. I wouldn't lie to you. I would have remembered. And a few things there. Alright, let's see what this thing is over here, now that we can interact with this.
I am helpful. Am I not?
I'm begging you, don't go in there! A hidden path. The young cleric lets out a loud scream and addresses you in a quavering voice. I beg you, don't touch that door! I discovered a concealed door in the temple. Where does it lead? Kiato's face goes gray, and he falters and stutters over his words. What door? Ah, the door. It leads into the cellar. There's nothing behind that interesting behind that door. Sweat breaks out on the cleric's forehead as he looks at you with pleading eyes. You're hiding some terrible secret. If you continue to do so, one of your flock will suffer. Is that what you want? Kiato looks to be on the verge of tears. It's all Zanedra. She's a witch. She came here one night, threatened to torture me, and demanded that I let her into the crypt. She said that her friends would be coming here sometimes, and then she placed a curse on me. If I allow anyone other than initiated servants of Baphomet into the crypt without her permission, a brood of rats will appear in my stomach, and they will gnaw me from the inside out. But I want to live. I'm no warrior. I'm a humble shepherd, and I never said a word to anyone. They go in there and do things. They whisper. I'm afraid to go in. And you can't go in. There's no one in there anyway. Zanedra hasn't been here for many days, and Erastil willing she won't come again, accursed witch. What do you expect from a peasant? It is in a peasant's nature to obey those who are stronger. I want to go inside the crypt. The cleric's resistance is hanging by a thread. His lips are trembling and his voice drops to a whisper. I have the key, but what right do you have to... Angel and Trickster Mythic Path? Unfortunately, we can't do either of those. So we can either You betrayed your flock. If you haven't even an ounce of conscience left, you'll give me the key. As a commander of the crusade, I order you to give me the key. Either you give me the key or I knock your teeth out. You refused, and I'm done asking. I've had enough. Fine, I'll take it. I think Angel or Trickster Mythic Path allows you to get in without him dying. But we're neither. You betrayed your flock. If you have even an ounce of conscience left, you'll give me the key. Kiato's face reddens in shame. With a trembling hand, he gives you the key. The final words sound unexpectedly clear and crisp. Don't go in there. If we go in, he dies. A horde of rats showing up and eating him. And I will say we end up going in there later anyway. Let me drop a save. Well, let's go down. The bloody remains of a person lie out in plain view. There are marks on the bones left by gnawing teeth, some of them human. Profane depiction of a bull's head drawn in blood. This is a brutal story. Mira is 3 days old. What a happy day! I'm strong enough to hold a quill again, and I can now write of my joy. My prayers have been answered at last. I prayed desperately for many years to the goddesses of beauty and fertility, but they only responded with silence. Mother Lamashtu alone answered my prayers. Finally, Mira was born. It was difficult for me to bear her for 9 months, but looking into her golden eyes and seeing her pretty smile, I realized that all the hardships were worth it, and all the terrible rituals I wish I could forget. It's such a pity that my husband didn't live to see this day. Mira is 6 months old. The wet nurse refused to feed her. She said the baby bit her breasts too hard and sucked out the blood. What nonsense! True, my little girl was born with teeth, but that doesn't make her a bloodsucker. She's my angel, and I'm sure the humps on her back will soon develop into little wings. Mira is 5 years old. Mira is 5, but I still breastfeed her. She just won't let go of me. I'm the only one who can bear her little teeth. The servants leave us one after another. They say they're frightened by wrestling in the night, and that girls discover bite marks and bruises on their arms and legs in the morning. The housekeeper was the last to leave. She said she woke up at night to the sound of scratching up above the ceiling beam. She swears she looked up and saw Mira crawling across the ceiling. She showed me claw marks on the wood, too. But of course I told her it was all ridiculous. My baby sleeps blissfully at night. But the silly woman packed her things nevertheless. Mira is 5.5. Mira loves me so much, it's impossible to pull her away from my breast. It worries me that she doesn't want to eat vegetables. The cook complains that the little girl sneaks into the kitchen and snatches pieces of raw meat right out of her hands. My poor girl, no one wants to be friends with her. That's why she plays such strange games. Mira is 6. The cook has vanished. She probably ran away in secret. Mira slept all day. Her little tummy is so bloated I'm afraid she might have contracted an illness from the uncooked meat. Mira is 6 and 1 month. I found what was left from the cook in the compost pile. I don't know what kind of animal chewed off her breasts and ripped chunks of meat from her stomach. A wolf, perhaps? A rabid dog? Absent-minded, I didn't hear Mira come close. She laughed joyously, pointing her little finger at the rotting remains. A child's innocence. She doesn't even realize what she was looking at. This may be the last thing I write in my life. My milk is not enough for Mira anymore. She wants more from me, and the wounds from her little teeth get deeper and deeper. Now I understand what happened to the cook. I am afraid, but I am her mother. I must be strong and give my child everything I can. Mira is near. I can hear her crystal laughter. Great Mother Lamashtu, I beg you, care for her when I'm gone. She has no one but us. Talk about brutal! Sheesh! Glory be to Baphomet, Lord of the Ivory Labyrinth, unbridled consort of Lamashtu, father of the horned brood. Connive, maul, rut, and build labyrinths of lies in his honor. This is the will of his chosen priestess, Zenedra. An antler of monstrous proportions set in steel. The beast to which it belonged must have been as large as a house. Burial rites fulfill several functions. They mitigate the psychological strain of parting with the deceased, they neutralize a source of disease hunting miasmas, and they suppress the spread of cannibalistic and necrophiliac arts in society at large. There are many ways of disposing of a corpse: burning, dissolution in harsh chemicals, ingestion by all members of the community. But by far the most popular method is burial. A grave protects the corpse against carrion eaters, serves as a place of remembrance, proclaims the merits of the deceased, and of especial importance, when all safety measures are taken, grave burial prevents the deceased from coming back and visiting their still living relatives. The commander examines the stone sarcophagus resting in the crypt of the Temple of Erastil. It was used as a feasting table for demons until very recently. The bones are scattered across the top of the sarcophagus. Some are easily identifiable as human finger bones. A human eyeball floats unappetizingly in a clay bowl, and next to it lies a half-gnawed rib cage. The commander decides that it is worth examining the sarcophagus. The sarcophagus is constructed from large stone slabs, rough, crudely hewn but fitted together with skill. Each slab is so heavy that it is impossible to reach the contents of the sarcophagus. This is likely the intention of the creators. In some places, the stone is carved with intricate curling lines of symbols. Examine the symbols. At first, the symbols are unfamiliar to the commander, but her eyes soon land on the familiar combination of letters. De la Mer. This is the name of the cleric Kiado mentioned in his conversation with the commander. This sarcophagus undoubtedly contains the body of the priestess of Erastil, Delamere the Blessed. It is unlikely that the young cleric could have read this inscription, written as it is in such ancient tongue. However, the information Kiado provided is enough to help the commander unravel the mystery. On the lid of the sarcophagus, the symbols form a circle. The commander notices that the seemingly solid slab is actually composed of several pieces in this spot. The hairline joins between the fragments are almost impossible to see. In Sarkoris, there existed a funeral tradition in which the priest would place magic seals such as this on tombs. The symbols on the seal are threatening. I guard the eternal sleep of Delamere. Cursed be any who care to destroy me. The commander says a prayer to Erastil, says that the spells on the seal can easily be broken, says that the seal can probably be pried off with a knife and disassembled. We'll go with that, since that is the best chance of success. Falai digs the tip of a knife in the join between the seal's fragments. She carefully nudges a blade until the seal clicks and crumbles to pieces and the lid of the sarcophagus slides open. Inside the sarcophagus are the remains of a female archer. The bones are held together by leather armor covered in the same symbols as those on the sarcophagus, and the skeleton's hands are clutching an impressive bow made from an antler. Surprisingly, there is no unpleasant smell from the remains. Take the relics, decides to have the remains and relics moved to Dresden, or reverently touches the relics and closes the lid of the sarcophagus. We'll do that one. Suddenly, the commander feels a rush of fresh air out of place in the cellar. It carries the scent of rain, the sound of dense forest, the mighty roar of a mountain river. The commander's body is overflowing with power, and the bow seems to yearn to be in her hands, now suffused with an overabundance of strength. The strange sensation passes, leaving behind only pleasant freshness. And that is all. Well, it has been left there, and if we leave... Yeah. We were reverent to it, and if we leave...
Have some fun!
Don't hold
Kiado sadly died. Requiescat in pace. Kiado. Alright. And so we shall leave. And before you say that I was cruel, I will say we would have to go in there sometime much later, and there was no saving him. He would die now or later. There wasn't much choice. Alright, let's leave. Alright, next we need to go this way. Someone on the road. Oh! What funny little faces you have when you're afraid. How pathetic you all are. Right, we're gonna do it this way, because we're about to have a bit of a problem. Do me a favor, protect us from fire, immediately. Okay, that helped a ton.
Simply business.
Okay, Nenio, back up a bit. This thing is... Its touch is nearly nothing. I'll be able to do a ton to it with touch. Try hold monster.
Nice try.
Won't work.
Hello.
Surprised. Any spells that would work? You know what? Give a haste to everyone. Me. Well, I can get close to it. May as well try. It's at least something I can do. Oh, wait. Song of Heroic Resolve.
Strike.
May as well. Aivu. Getting close. Okay, you can certainly do something. I guess attack it again.
Open.
Lan, back up. Extra shots. Throw on that. And attack.
Crossed the wrong mongrel.
Darren, you need to back up. Give him a bone shatter. Spell resistance. It's getting attacks in. Good news is I'm still up for now.
It's your time to cease to exist.
Okay, this is still very not good. Dispel magic. Try it. Failed to dispel displacement. Okay, you can still do something. Here's what you're gonna do. Dimension Strike. Then Arcana Theft. Okay, didn't get the spell out and got interrupted. Son of a bitch! Camellia, you need to get an attack out on this thing. Yeah, just attack.
Spirits demand your blood. Ha!
And he ran. Okay. Definitely need to drop some healings on me. And now we know just how dangerous this is going to be. When we begin the fight, we are really gonna need to prepare.
We do it my way.
Alright, there's the way out. We're definitely gonna have to rest before the fight starts. We'll probably rest on the way. That said, I'm gonna end this episode here. Next episode, we'll make our way towards the Grimwood. And also deal with Crusade things. That'll be in the next episode. So, until then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is me, Greybor, Camellia, Lan, Darren, and Nenio. This has been a Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. And I shall see you all next time.